This is a McLaren 650S, and today we're going to be going over some of its quirks and features. In 2012, McLaren released the MP412C. In 2013, they released one of the Holy Trinities, the McLaren P1, one of the best hypercars. So where do you go after that? Well, this right here, this is the car. What is up, guys? My name is Sammy Trafel. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. So immediately off the bat, one of the things that I immediately noticed about this car is the P1 style front end right here. You got those P1 style headlights, which to me are so iconic and probably one of my favorite headlights in the McLaren lineup of all time. You've got also this McLaren style P1 front hood that the owner added, aftermarket carbon. You got the carbon front splitter right there. You got the carbon side skirts and then the side blades right here. The carbon side fins as well. You also got the carbon fiber rear spoiler and then the carbon fiber on the rear bumper right there. This car has downpipes and exhaust for that 3.8 liter V8 twin turbo to just absolutely scream. It's no reason why Manny Koshman thinks it's the best supercar bang for your buck. I mean, you get all this for around, market's around 150 so, give or take. One of my favorite things I love about McLarens compared to other supercars, the doors. Now the shocks are a little cold right now, so they're being a little funny, but that's okay. Why would you get a Spider over the coupe? So you come here, you go to over here, it says tonneau cover, and you click that button and this opens up. And you get all this space right here. You could probably fit, what, some grocery bags in there, or?
Yeah, it comes with these little luggage sacks if you really wanted to do something.
When you turn on the car and you go to put the top down, it always asks to make sure that there's nothing in there. So I filmed a lot of McLarens, and you have the typical McLaren badge right there, 650S. Surrey, England, right there. You got carbon fiber all on the steering wheel with the orange seat belts. This car is wrapped. Absolutely love the wrap job, but you can see it's that McLaren orange right there. It's a beautiful color, beautiful. Going back to the 620R that I was in, McLaren's paddles just feel phenomenal. And unlike the 620R, you actually do get cup holders. Of course, when you're buying like an STO or something, it's gonna be made for the track. It's not gonna have all that practicality, but comparing this to like your regular Huracan, your regular MP412C, your Porsche 911, this is, you get a lot of car for your money. You can also see right there, it says 650S right there. And then you got this this nice tachometer right there. Super nice. I just love the steering wheels on McLarens. And then just the vents makes you look like a fighter jet. And let's check out the front right there. So you open that up right there. And then you just pop the hood. There we go. Alrighty. Look at all that space. Now you really could fit something in here. You can fit a couple suitcases, go on rallies. Love the netting right there too. His car was previously pink, and me, I like the weird colors. I like pinks, purples, all that, and so that was so fun to see. I'm pretty sure I have a video of it, so it'll right there. But yeah, this is Danny Vincent, and this is his 650S, and I love people that say they can't modify a supercar because they are full of and we're gonna just yeah,
It's true.
Tell us why.
You know, one of the things with supercars is they remain timeless, but once you have one, they really don't. You start to notice the new ones look a little bit better, and you always want to keep up with your friends, basically. So that's why I started modifying this. The car had some carbon options. It had the front lip and the rear bumper was carbon already, but that's never enough. You can never have enough carbon. And so we added the hood, and then we added the side skirts, and then that still wasn't quite enough. So I started going with some interior details. The seat belts and those kind of things are different. Then I lowered the car, then we got new wheels. still wasn't quite enough. And then we went with a tune, new intakes, exhaust, downpipes, fuel injection, a bunch of other modifications.
Oh,
And then the
okay.
car went into limp mode. So you hear about McLarens screwing up?
Yeah.
That one did.
Oh.
So we took the tune off and went to just the downpipes and exhaust.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, no, you can do a lot to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, what did you like put on like personally? Like, I know a lot of people take theirs to shops to get modified.
Yep.
Like, what did you do personally? I think that's a huge thing.
So I did the seat belts personally.
Oh,
because
that's
I
huge.
I was stupid enough to think that I could do it and it would be easy. You actually have to take the entire firewall off the back in order to install those, so that was a lot of work.
I can imagine being a English car. It's not pretty on the inside.
I actually worked on my Aston quite a bit.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. Every single project took like 3 or 4 times the amount of time I thought.
Right.
So this one, 99% of them was in the shop because I just don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but it's cool that you still like work on the car, and you know, like you told me previously, you have the JDM back roots, and you owned a couple Hondas. You owned what else?
Gosh, I owned probably 12 Hondas. I owned a Supra. Owned a couple of Lexuses.
Okay.
An M3, an M5, an R8, several trucks. I always floated into the truck world. I'm not a truck guy, so I'd float in, float out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but you took all that knowledge and you applied it to this, and the car looks phenomenal.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love the 4G Autos. I assume that's the Diamond Auto Sport Special.
It is. Yeah.
That's
In
same.
fact, a lot of people don't know. These actually have Diamond's logo on
Oh,
the wheel.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I will have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to film that in the B-roll, but
Sure.
I do a really good job like speccing their cars.
Yeah. No, the boys over at Diamond are pretty awesome, and Mo is fantastic. If you get an opportunity to work with Mo and let him give you his eye on your car, you guys can collaborate together and come up with some cool stuff.
Yeah, he's quite the artist when it comes to putting together all these cars. I like to think that every car, when you get them in their stock form, is like a blank canvas waiting to be painted.
Oh, totally.
And
totally. And you have to make it yours.
Exactly, and you clearly made it yours, and you made it yours previously, especially with the blue and the pink.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that one's actually funny, dude. I wanted to wrap the car,
okay.
but I wanted it to stand out. And you know, everybody does a wrap. They all want to do it wild, and so I actually went to my daughter, and I bought a bunch of highlighters from Target, and I had a drawing of a McLaren. I gave them to her. I made a bunch of copies, and I was like, "Go to town, let's figure it out." And she did that one pretty close to how it ended up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So your daughter came up with the pink and blue,
Yep,
and then
100%.
how did you come up with this? Because this is a pretty recent style. I know
Yeah.
you said you worked with a couple sponsors.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the styling.
Yeah, so I knew I always wanted to go British Racing Green. I wanted to do that on my Aston back in the day. I never actually pulled it off. So yeah, British Racing Green and gold accents, just an homage to their old racing roots in England. So that's when we went here. My sponsor's Encoda. Encoda does colored PPF, which is how you get that rich, like paint-looking style to it. It doesn't have. If you look at the difference on a vinyl wrap,
Okay.
vinyl wrap has a little bit of wave to it. PPF doesn't have that, so it almost looks like paint when it's done really well.
Okay.
And so that's why we went with this one. Their green was a little darker, so I knew I wouldn't do a light gold. So we ended up finding this one, which is almost rusty gold, but I thought it worked really well, and so we ran with it.
It's definitely a hard color to capture on camera. I see a lot of like it look either like really brown or really gold. Nothing that's like this. It's a bronze. You have to see it in person, guys. It's super interesting. So now that we're done talking about the car, let's shut up and let's take it for a drive. She sounds so good. Yeah, you can hear the turbo whistle right there. Oh my gosh. Alrighty. First ride in a McLaren, boys.
This is your first one?
This is my first time in a McLaren.
Ever?
Yeah, ever.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so this is very special to me.
Dope, dude.
Yeah. Only other supercar I've ever been in is Jeff's Sheepy Race R8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a little fast.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. This car is definitely savage so far. I love how you have the climate control on the doors too for your passenger. Such a phenomenal. And then look at the door latch right there.
Yeah, my favorite feature on the Spider is this. So even if it's on a rainy day, I can lower this down. Water doesn't come in, but I get to hear the engine.
Oh yeah, no. Being able to hear the engine is everything. That'll never get old. Never. That's... Guys, I don't know how, but someday, one day, I'm gonna own a McLaren. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
About 800 wheel.
You push this car to 800 wheel.
Yeah.
So it's not making 650.
Well, it wasn't when I did it.
Okay.
And everybody told me about the rods and all that kind of thing. But I was like, well, I'll deal with that when it happens. But we made sure the fuel injectors were right. We made sure the intake was right, the downpipes, the exhaust, the whole 9 yards. And it worked well for about 2 hours. And then it just had some issue after issue after issue after issue. And we tried to work on it for about 2 months. And finally I was like the joy of the car is gone because I can never drive it. It's always screwed up. So we removed the tune. I kept the downpipes and the exhaust. We put everything else back to stock. And the reality is the car's run great since, like absolutely flawless. And so I don't really regret it, but I do miss having that power I had for a couple hours. It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope.
Corner's like a dream.
Okay.
I think I'm going to change the title of this video to Terrorizing Folsom with the 650S.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to get a little shot of the air brake with the GoPro. We'll see if the angle's right.
We'll see.
A lot of work on the back end to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what's the trick to own a car like this?
I think build to it. You know, everybody wants to jump straight to it. And the reality is, I mean, like we talked about earlier, I ran Honda Civics for a long time, and I ran an Integra for a long time, and then my first like, oh my gosh, I'm buying my dream car was an M3, and then over time it got to an M5, and I never lost sight of what I wanted. My first supercar I bought was an R8, which is not really a supercar, but it was. But I think it's just take your time. No, don't lose sight of your goal, and take all the steps necessary to get there, dude. Everybody wants to jump to the end, but it's getting there that's a lot of fun. And you learn a lot too. So the reality is, had I bought this car back then, it didn't exist. But if this car did exist and I bought it back then, I probably would have wrapped it around a tree because I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, just for legal reasons, that was filmed in Mexico and it was under 55. I cannot get over the sound of those downpipes. That's one thing I love about McLaren is like a V8 is so like rowdy and aggressive. This is so refined and it's so smooth with the twin turbos. Like I say, I'm living the best life right now being able to film these cars.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that backup camera, guys. That's interesting. Yeah. Best 13 minutes I've had in a car.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. All right, just like that, we We got to go for a ride in this thing. It was super fun. Love the car. It's phenomenal. Thanks again to Danny so much for this experience. But yeah, until next time, guys, this is Sandwich or Fail. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, stay savage, guys.